goal, his first
You have his email.
scored by number 23, Hayden Guilderson.
Chilliwack, BC's Hayden Guilderson, an aspiring junior hockey player, has been afforded many opportunities in hockey through his hard work and dedication. He spent this past season playing Junior B with the Abbotsford Pilots and has participated in the National Aboriginal Hockey Championships, winning gold with Team BC in 2013 and captaining them to silver last year.
The top players are usually invited to attend Hit the Ice later that summer. So I knew, yes, obviously I want to win this tournament and bring gold back again, especially as a captain. But I also wanted to get invited to Hit the Ice.
Hayden's most notable feat may be from last summer, when he participated in Hit the Ice TV, a televised 2-week training program that showcases the talents of Canada's best Aboriginal junior hockey players. Hayden, like other young players, has had to face challenges in his hockey journey. In the Hit the Ice program, where Aboriginal players come together as complete strangers from across Canada, Hayden explains the human side.
They're all of First Nations background, and they're going through the same situations, right? Whether they're playing in Quebec or back in New Brunswick or even out west here, the hockey's the same and the game's the same game and the culture's the same. It's just everyone's going through their own little battle.
Hayden tells the story of what one Hit the Ice participant went through.
He's from Manitoba. He lost one of his good buddies, actually took his own life while we were there. So that was pretty tough for him, but also it was very humbling to see just how the whole teammates, even though we were only 5 or 6 days in, everyone came and gave him a hug and just let him know, hey man, we're here for you, and just, it was nice for the kid to, he actually stayed and finished the camp, which I found, I didn't even understand how he was able to do it. He lost his best friend, but I had a lot of respect for him and what he went through that camp in those 2 weeks. So, but probably one of the biggest things noticing there was just, again, the culture and the welcoming and the coming togetherness, and just how, I couldn't believe it, how you don't know these kids. You've never met these kids in your life, but 5 days in and you're literally already best friends, consoling each other after something tragedy like that has happened.
As the players in Hit the Ice come together with their culture to overcome off-ice adversity, it's much of the same mindset on the ice, as Hayden explains.
A couple of games before playoffs in Aldergrove, where I jumped Goldstein from behind. I was actually skating up the ice, and I hit him behind the boards, and then skating up the ice, he called me, am I allowed to say it?
Oh, yeah.
An Indian chug. And it was kind of crazy just for me because I've heard the stories and I've read the book of Jordan Tutu's book, all the way, how he's experienced stuff like that. And I've thought to myself, oh, well, I must be pretty lucky just to never experience the racism side of hockey or something like that. I've heard it multiple times happening to other people and other ethnicities or stuff like that, but never to myself. So I was a little, when I first heard that, I reacted kind of differently, and obviously reacted violently, but it was different for me. It was just the first time ever hearing the racist side on the ice was pretty eye-opening, and like Jordan Tutu said in his book, you can't do anything about it. It's that one guy's I guess ignorance.
A mature outlook for the 17-year-old Hayden, who represents his Aboriginal culture well, according to his parents, Troy and Winona Guilderson.
Hayden's been actually more involved in it than I have, to be honest. He's done some speaking up at the band office. He's received numerous awards for his grades and stuff like that. He'd go up and help out some kids up there and do some stuff with them after school.
Hayden's character in helping others is also eminent, as his parents say he's very good with his older brother, who lives in a group home because he's severely disabled. Hayden's number 23 with the Pilots represents his brother's March 23rd birthday, as well as his on May 23rd, adding that the number also symbolizes his brother being out there with him, since he doesn't get the opportunity to play.
He was a pleasure to have. He was everything we asked him to do, he did. And everything he could, he had trouble doing, he worked until he was able to do it. So those are the type, as a coach, the type of players you want on your team.
That was John Chabot, the head coach of the Hit the Ice program. Chabot, who has also coached in the NHL and is a veteran of over 500 NHL games, admired Hayden for not taking shortcuts and never making excuses during the training camp.
I like to hear the stories of the little guys that make it, just because myself growing up, I was obviously never one of the towering, bigger players, but I've always tried to, I guess, almost have the same heart or more pride.
And Hayden's passion for hockey was discovered all on his own. As Troy explains, he and Winona had enthused soccer and lacrosse on Hayden before he wanted to join hockey.
He started soccer at quite a young age, 4 or something. Then he started lacrosse at 6. And his friends were playing hockey. And he came and said, well, listen, I want to go play hockey, when he was 8. So, and most of his little friends had started at 5 or 6. So when he was 8 or 9, we put him on skates for the first time. And yeah, it was quite a learning curve.
And with all the success Hayden has earned in recent years, he reflects on his season with Abbotsford and what he hopes will come next.
I thought to myself, well, if I'm able to come in here as a young 17-year-old, which is still young in the game of junior hockey, and have a pretty decent year and hone my skills and get stronger, of course, playing against the older kids, hopefully I'd have the opportunity, and I feel pretty confident in myself next year, moving on up to the junior A level, and definitely staying in the amateur ranks, just so I can keep that NCAA eligibility. If I'm able to go to the NCAA down in the States and play hockey until I'm 24 or 25, then that's just continuing the dream and allowing me to also get an awesome education at the same time.